Let's keep that going and welcome to the stage, Tom Lewtas!
Hello. Before we go any further, seeing as I'm quite new, I think there's one quick thing that I do need to address, and that's that I am actually old enough to be here. Like, I'm aware, I know I look like a Tesco value Tom Holland, don't I? But no, I'm actually a full-grown man. I rarely ever get referred to as man, though, never really get it. Like, I often get lad, I often get guy, I often get kid. But what I get most is I did. Yeah. Like, I appreciate the reason why. I don't look particularly manly on the surface, do I? But despite that, I've got a few interests that I think are quite traditionally manly in a lot of respects. Like, a nice day out for me involves, like, going out on my motorbike, you know, maybe stop for a pint while I'm out, heavy metal music in my ears. Quite a traditionally masculine, gruely day. And then, you know, go home, do my skincare routine, you know, and maybe build a Lego set, you know, and maybe listen to some Beyonce. We're familiar with Beyonce, aren't we? You familiar with Beyonce? She's married to Jay-Z. Am I saying it right? Beyonce? O-N-C-E, Once. Mad, who'd have thought it? Anyway, no, I've always wanted to look a little bit more manly for years, so I'll tell you a little story, right? Once upon a time. So, I'll let that sink in for a minute. Slow burner. But I was about 16 and I wanted to implement a few lifestyle changes to try and make myself come across as a bit more manly. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It didn't work. No, I wanted to like bulk up, build some muscle, grow my hair out, grow a beard, that sort of thing. But it was a long, tedious and frankly unsuccessful process. And one of the main things I learned is that I just couldn't grow facial hair. And I still barely can today. Like I can grow a bit of a moustache, but it's not really anything to brag about. Like on a day like today, clean shaven sort of thing. I look like the kind of guy who like, you know, like hangs around a skate park sort of thing, you know, like in his vans, you know? Whereas if I grow the moustache out, some of you guys have preempted this already. Oh yeah. Whereas if I grow the moustache out, I look more like the kind of guy who just hangs around a skate park in his van. So it doesn't quite have the same effect. But no, like the toxic masculinity sort of thing actually got me down for a fair bit for a few years. And over the last few years, I've also been like in and out of work and stuff. So I was in a little bit of a rut. But I've come out the other side of it now. I'm doing a little bit better off. And I've got a friend of mine who's in a very similar situation. He's got a load of like similar shared interests, shared life experiences. But visually, he's the polar opposite to me. He's about 5'3" and he's like 14 stone. And like, look at me. I look like a cheese string. And he's more of a baby bell, to be honest. But no, we were in a bit of a better situation all round, so we thought, you know what, we'll get away from the shit aspects of British life. The crap people, the crap pubs, everything, the crap weather, you know. So we packed our bags and we went on a nice exotic holiday. And it was a very long and tedious journey, but in the end we did. We got there. So we arrived in Glasgow, anyway. We couldn't check into the hotel for a few hours, so we just killed some time in the pub. And there's this one bloke in there, like red in the face, dead angry, quite dodgy looking geezer, comes storming over to us. He looks like the kind of guy who works in like a dodgy fairground, you know, the ones that have got like a picture of like Lightning McQueen next to like Rihanna, next to like Jack Sparrow or something on the side. No, he comes over red in the face and goes, "Aye, you're a wee fucking tatty, man." He's like, "What?" "Yeah, I'm a bit tatty, I'm a bit scruffy, been in the car for ages." He goes, "Nay, you're a wee fucking tatty, man." And in that moment, we grew to appreciate the concept of a language barrier. Same language. Because he wasn't saying you're a bit scruffy, mate. No. He was calling him a little fucking potato, man. Yeah. Honestly, his head was mashed. I'll let that one sink in for a minute. But no, like the concept of like language, dialect, accents, that sort of thing has always fascinated me a bit. Like, has anyone ever noticed like even British and like English artists will often sing songs in an American accent? Yeah? We noticed that? Yeah? Couldn't do that in Albanian, could you? Couldn't do that in any other accent. Or camp either. That wouldn't go down particularly well. But I don't want to appropriate either of those cultures, especially during Pride Month, because I'm all for celebrating Pride Month, celebrating the Pride movement and everything. And I was in the card factory the other day, and I noticed that they had some like Pride Month merchandise by the tills, and one of them was a wearable Pride flag. So on the back of this like overthrow, essentially, it had all the colours of the Pride flag, but essentially it was white in general. And it had a hood. Had a big pointy hood. I don't want to be walking around looking like a member of the gay KK. But no, I'm a big supporter of the fact that if you want to identify with whatever gender or sexual orientation you want, you can, and use whatever names, titles, or pronouns that you feel suit it. I think that's fair to say. And I like to think that the world is going the same way with this as well. Well, having said that, why a gender reveal party is now suddenly a thing, it seems quite contradictory. Like, imagine being the parents, having that conversation, raising that child. Like, okay, we're going to raise this child to learn that whatever they want to identify as, any interests, any hobbies, whatever, it doesn't have to fit into these binary margins of gender identity. They can identify however they like. But if it's born with a cock, I'm going to end it. Like, I've already bought the pink balloons, I'm done. That didn't go down as well as I thought it would, but yeah. All right, I'll leave us with this. Anyone in here vape? Okay, the rest of you are all full of shit liars. But no, it's always an interesting topic to talk about because, like, never has something been so socially frowned upon, yet so popular at the same time. Well, no, like, I do. I'm one of them vapists, essentially. But no, and people always say to me, like, oh, it's, did you ever think, like, the health benefits of that over smoking aren't the best? But, like, no, I do them all at the same time. Spliffs, cigarettes, everything. Like a nicotine tapas, it's brilliant. Or when it's hot like this, Nicky Bits in the garden. That'll do. Cheers.
Tom Lewtas, everyone!